Hey, can you hear me now? Yes, thumbs up. Yes, yes. There I am, messing things up once again. Yes, I get. Well, hello, Janet. Nice to see you. Hello, Susan, Rosalind, TM, Josie, Al, Myla, Jessica, Joel, Archie, Michelle, Brian, Darren, Leslie, Brittany, Kayla, Dennis, Butch, Andrea Swanee, and a phone number that I will not say publicly because then you'll get all kinds of prank calls. Hello, Nancy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everyone doing today? Fantastic. Give me a big, if you're watching us on YouTube Live, give us a big thumbs up by clicking that like button and subscribe. That's a great invitation to you. I'm going to ask for everyone to turn your videos on, because when you turn your videos on, you will participate more. When you participate more, you'll take more listings. When you take more listings, you'll make more money. See how that works? Just like everything else that we're talking about. What do you want as a result? You want more listings. Where are you right now? You have your videos on. That's freaking awesome. Will you participate in this? Yes. And as you do, you'll have better results. Day 4 of our 5-day listing challenge. My name's Dan Roshan. I will be your facilitator, your coach throughout this. Today, I'm going to demonstrate to you a step-by-step action of how I use email to be able to get listings. And you'll love it. You will absolutely love this. I will also demonstrate to you a model that will allow for you to break the cycle of what's held you in the past, what's held you back. So if you have gotten the same results over and over and over again, and if you want better results or different results, I'm going to teach you a methodology that you can scientifically hack what gets in your way of receiving different results. That's going to be pretty cool. You guys all good with that? Thumbs up. Yes, 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 yes. All right, let's freaking rock and roll. Before we do so, day 1, we did an overview of the class. Day 2, we went through how. Day number 3, we went and we talked about what you would do on a live appointment. We talked to our friend Kat, and she shared with us what she would do on an appointment. You notice the models, where in real time, where I said, Kat, what do you do? She says, knock on a door. Take a step back, smile, reach your hand out. It's 2 o'clock. We had a 2 o'clock appointment. Thank you for inviting me over. It's pretty exciting that you're selling your house, and then move forward with the process. And as Kat was saying what she was doing, I was mimicking her in real time. Take a step back, smile, so that you understand the process that Kat was following to be able to get the result. What was the result that Kat was looking for yesterday during that for sale by owner appointment? Go ahead and turn your videos on. I'm going to invite for you to turn your videos on. Get some participation going on here, because you guys are freaking awesome. And I want to see your lovely, beautiful faces. So what result was Kat looking for yesterday? Who wants to shout out or type in there? What was the result she was seeking?
Build a relationship.
Boom, there it is. Brian typed it in and Rosalind shouted it out. Relationship. That's the result that Kat was looking for. Today, now she's looking for a different result, and she's going to now add on different techniques, different tactics to be able to get a new result. The new result that she's looking for is 1 out of 7 to hire her. To understand that what happens often is that if you're here, you're looking for the correct result, but you're looking to sort of get there quicker. So if she would have went there yesterday and says, I'm looking for the result to get hired, it would have been detrimental to her. Because it's like a buyer that contacts us on Facebook or contacts us on any internet lead generation site. And if the first thing that you say to them is, hey, you ready to write an offer because you're going to get accepted? Or the first thing you say to them is, hey, you ready to go to closing? That's the result ultimately that you're looking for. How effective do you guys believe if I said to a buyer prospect that I had an internet inquiry to say to them, are you ready to go to closing? How often would I convert that buyer? Would you guys agree? Not very often. Once in a almost never blue moon, like almost once never. So that's the process, is understanding that sometimes we reach out too far. Sometimes we reach out too close. So sometimes we'll go on that appointment, and if she's only, that's that. Kevin, thank you for telling us that you're here with no video. I appreciate that you gave us that feedback. For everyone else, I would again invite for you to turn on your videos, because you'll get more listings, more participation, more money. So for some, you go on that appointment, and if you're only looking for the relationship, which is what you're looking for, and you don't take the vital step, I hope that you guys got that vital step that Kat mentioned yesterday, which was she handed that prospect the for sale by owner guide and said to him, if I respect you very much, so she took away the objection, and the reason why I'm here to help you is because what I found is that other for sale by owners often hire an agent. And if you're ready to hire an agent, I would love to be able to apply for the job, but I'm not here to solicit your business. I'm here to be able to help you. And in exchange and in return, if you do decide to hire an agent, I would like the opportunity to apply for the job. So it's that step right there, which is required, because sometimes we just sit there and say we do an appointment and we meet with somebody, but we don't set the next step up. So then it would follow on and say, well, would it be okay if I followed up with you after the weekend, just sort of see how things are going? And I've got an idea. I've got some information that I can share with you to help you get this property sold. Would it be okay if I shared that with you? That's a little bit of an overview, a review, a summary of what we did yesterday. It's like going on a first date and expecting to get oh, Janet, I can't read the rest of that. Oh my goodness. First date. Oh my goodness. Oh, a proposal. All right. I was reading something different into what you said. You're right, Janet. It's like going on a first date and asking for a proposal. We don't want to get married on the first date. I did have a friend that did that once, and that was a 4-month long journey. So anyways, that's a story I'll tell at another time. All right. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to go ahead and share my screen. Hopefully I can do that. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Yes, I can. I want to talk to you about, oh goodness. Hello. Hey, there we are. I have no idea what just happened there. Did I blank out? Did you hear me? Did you hear me crying? Who heard me crying when that happened? Did you hear the tears coming from you? You thought this was like this big Christmas mood, this big holiday mood, and then Dan's crying. Oh my goodness gracious, I messed something up. Can you guys see my screen? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see it? All right. Thank you very much, Miss Rosalind. All right. So let's go ahead and do that Etch-a-Sketch. We're going to go into a different topic now, right? So again, those of you that don't know Etch-a-Sketch, hopefully you've Googled it, and I will reiterate that I hate you that you don't know what Etch-a-Sketch is. So that means that you're several generations behind me. I love you. I'm just teasing. All right. I want to talk to you about a methodology that I use. First of all, before I share this methodology, I'm not going to use any foul language in my teaching, because though I'm not opposed to it at all, I want to respect everybody here. If you're not comfortable with foul language, then just like go get a cup of coffee right now. I'm not going to use foul language, but you may see some foul language coming here in a second, right? So just a preview of coming attractions, right? All right. I won't say anything, but you may read something here shortly. All right. You guys all good with that? All right. Nobody cursed me out here. All right. Fantastic. All right. I'm going to share my screen with you again. Oh my goodness. I'm almost afraid to do this because the last time I did it, it blew up on me. This time it did not. Participants can now see your screen. It says so right there. One of the methodologies that I employ in my sales business is that on a weekly basis, I send an email to my database. Now, I've got a very substantial database. I'm grateful for that, of many that I've been developing since 2007. In 2007, my database was about maybe 10, and today it's pretty substantial in the tens of thousands. Don't worry about the fact that I have a substantial database. Just wherever you are is wherever you are. And you may or may not employ this tactic. What's important for you to understand is this is a tactic. We've been talking about short-term strategies this week. This is a tactic that you can employ for the long-term strategy. We briefly touched on the long-term strategy. A long-term strategy could be to communicate with your database on a weekly basis. One of the reasons why I'm all geared up for Christmas is I just shot my holiday video to them just before this class, and I wanted to, get into the mood. Hopefully, you're in the mood as well. And so, what I want to show you is I sent this email about 2 weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago. It says, "What's the difference between good debt and bad debt?" Yada yada yada. What I said isn't necessarily, important. What I want you to understand is the process. So, what do I want as a result to send this email? What result do you guys think I want? I want credibility. I want to be able to provide value. And I want to contribute. Understand what you want to do and where you're at. Because if I, for the result of this email, wanted to get a listing, I'm overreaching. It's the same way as that proposal on day one of the date. Boy, he's great. Boy, she's great. Well, let's discover if this makes sense or not, but let's not jump into marriage. Does that make sense to you guys? So it's about understanding where you're at throughout the process at all times. You send this email, what do you want? You want credibility. You want to be able to educate. You want to be able to give value. You want to contribute to them. And you want visibility. For those of you who have ever done BNI or have ever been in BNI, you'll know that they teach about visibility and credibility leads to profitability. Okay, I've been doing BNI. That's another system that I do. We're not going to get into that. I do teach that in the consistent predictable income certification. Yet it's another methodology for long-term business is networking. We're not going to talk about that this week. But visibility leads to credibility, leads to profitability. I'm taking that from Dr. Ivan Meisner. If you don't know who he is, he's the founder of BNI. If you don't know what that is, that's a networking organization. Dan sends out this video. It redirects people to this page. This is a blog page. So now a certain percent will land here, depending on how well your database knows you, depending on how often you communicate with them, and depending on how much value you give to them. Okay, will depend on how many people land on this page. So that's the process. So we are here. We want to get here. We want to get this result. Now, what I want to show you is the actual results that I got from this email that I sent about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And what I want to demonstrate to you is that sometimes you won't get the result that you want. Sometimes you'll get a different result. And sometimes you'll get a better result. So just like what am I seeking? I'm seeking all this credibility, value, contribution. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Now the feedback is what you get. Did I hit the mark? Did I fall short of the mark? Did I exceed the mark? Does that make sense, everybody? Thumbs up. Yes, we're good. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube live, subscribe, click that little thumbs up video because I do contribution like this often. Thank you for everyone who's continued to chat on YouTube, on Zoom. I promise I'll get to you at the end of the class. And I have a special invitation for you as well. I'm doing a consistent predictable income mastermind that some of you are a part of that I'm going to invite everybody from this, even if you're watching on YouTube. I'm going to invite you to that at the end of this. We're going to immediately go into there. It's going to be a mastermind about whatever your challenges in your business. And if you're a subscribing member to that, you have the right of way to be able to participate. If you're viewing in, you can feel free to observe. And if the subscribing members aren't asking questions, then you can ask your questions as well. All right, so you'll hear about that here in about 30 minutes or so, preview of coming attractions. So let's go back to Dan sends out that email. What is he looking for? He's looking for all that stuff on that board behind me. And what does he get in return? Great info. Does that seem as though if I hit the mark here? I would say yes. Would you guys agree to that? Thumbs up? Yes? I know I can't see anybody but Rosalind. Rosalind, you're in charge of the thumbs up because you're the only one I can see. So if we're getting a bunch of thumbs up, you are obligated. And if you see no thumbs up, you got to be like a frowny face. I don't want to see your frowny face. All right. So we can all agree. Rosalind, as your messenger, says that we can all agree that that's hitting the mark of the result that we're intending. All right, Rosalind. I'm ready for this. I'm watching your face. All right. I'm going to show you the next one. I want to know, does this hit the mark or not? Yes or no? It's at the very, very top of the page here. Does that hit the mark? Okay, Rosalind says, oh, no, it does not hit the mark. It does not hit the mark. It does not hit the mark. We fell short of the mark right there, right? And I had to move it up because I didn't want anybody to see who had written that. But if you're missing what the response was, it's right there. Okay, so that's the response of the same methodology. Response 1 was hit the mark. Response 2 was less than the mark. Fast forward, response number 3. Did this hit the mark? I'll read it out loud for those of you that may not be able to see my screen. I didn't want to read the second one out loud. Hey, Rosa, you want to read the second one out loud for us? The one I was just showing you, want to read that out loud for us?
Okay, it says, hi, Dan.
No. The second one, not this one here. Did you want to read that one for us? Oh my goodness, Rosa, you are horrible. You're a potty mouth, Rosalind. Potty.
I walked right into that.
Potty mouth. Boo, Rosalind. All right, I'll read this one to you. All right, so the first one says great information. The second one says buzz off. The third one says, hi, Dan, what percentage do you charge for representing a home seller, including the percentage the buyer's agent typically gets? Tom. Did I exceed the mark? Did I get to the next level? Yes, I did. That's freaking awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to move on. But before I do so, and I'm going to bring my screen back, I want to acknowledge right now what sometimes happens is we see that second response, which was well short of the remark of hitting. I'm not the remark, well short of hitting the result. And we're like, we feel bad. And we make that mean something. If you've been in sales for a second, and if you've done the activity, you have received some sort of version of that. Now, when that happens, and it will happen, you have a choice. I want you to understand that. Your choice is to make it mean something to you, to ignore it, to make it mean something of the sender, or to laugh. You probably have a few more choices in there as well. My reaction, my response when I received that message from that individual was I laughed. It brought me joy. I haven't always been that way. When I started in sales, if I would have received that message, I would have felt judged. I would have felt bad, which is where many of it's perfectly natural if you're in that place right now. But what I want to be able to, it could be depressing. That's correct. Let's move on from Venus. In Venus, I love, that's a great transition. It could be depressing. So let me fast forward what happens next. So I showed you 3 responses. One that was good, what we're looking for, one that was great, and one that was less than great. Fast forward, here was this message. This was on my schedule December 4th. So this is in real time. This isn't like I didn't, even the last class that I taught, I couldn't have taught you this because it hadn't happened yet, right? This is like real time what's going on. And it says right here, Tom, we look forward to helping you. Boom. Okay. Now understand that this message to him is a part of a new ladder. So now I want a new result from Tom. What I'm intending to do right there in that email or the Google Calendar invite that I'm sharing with him is before I get to the appointment, I'm looking for a new result. So we go back, we get this response from him. Sorry for all the background stuff there. Here's the response that we get from him. And we say, okay, so now we're looking for a new result. What's the result that Dan wants? So here's where we are. Dan wants a new result before he goes on that listing to be able to reiterate to Tom why he should hire me. Well, first it's to get the appointment, right? So I got the appointment after that. Then it's to reiterate why he should hire me. As a part of that, I send him a calendar invitation. We look forward to helping you. Now, here's an example of that right here that came in 41 minutes ago. This is in real time. Accepted. This is a different seller. I look forward to the opportunity to help you. Okay, presumptive language. I backed off a little bit on this languaging because I don't have the relationship already established. It's different than we look forward to helping you. I got a little bit more assertive in the languaging on that because I had already gained the credibility, the visibility, etc. This seller, I have not gained all that. So I changed the perspective slightly to I'm looking forward to the opportunity to help you versus I look forward to helping you. You guys see the difference, the nuance of the difference? Both cases, it's about the next step, however. I just understand with Soo Young that I have more steps to climb with Soo Young than I did with Tom. But here's the thing. Look at that right there. Soo Young says accepted. What did I just receive from Soo Young? I just received my first yes. In a sales process, what you're seeking, ultimately, your ultimate result is to get hired. And then your ultimate result after that's, of course, to sell the house or to write it off if it gets accepted for your buyer and go to closing. But at this point where I am in the relationship with Soo Young is the ultimate result is to get hired. Yet I'm looking for baby results between now and then to be able to get from where I'm at to where I want to go. I got my first baby result, my first yes. They call that a trial close, by the way. Okay, I teach the trial closes in a class that I teach called Death of Potential, why 87% of real estate agents quit. And that's what I teach, a piece of trial closes in there. I also teach that in the consistent and predictable income certification, how to find your way. And so that's the result that I want with Soo Young. Now let's go just to sort of like close the loop on Tom. I met with him on, I won't share my screen, but I'll tell you when I met with him. I already showed you that. I met with him on December 4th, and he hired me. And now we're going to place his property on the market sometime in January. He's not quite ready to leave. They're buying a property in Florida. I think they already bought it. They're building a property in Florida. And in January, his property, his listing will go onto the marketplace. Then I'm looking for a different result, which is to exceed his expectations, to sell it for the most amount of money, and to be able to do so with no hassles to him. So it's always understanding, like, what's the next result? I got hired from Tom. I've not yet gotten hired from Soo Young. I'm looking for different results. Does that make sense to you guys? Give me a thumbs up if you're following me. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. But understand, I'm showing you, I'm demonstrating to you in real time, like here's what's happening. Okay. And it's following a process of, okay, I'm not trying to get to the closing table yet because that's not appropriate yet. Okay. Now, when you hang on for the CPI Coaching Mastermind, that's going to happen right after this class, I will invite for you to share feedback about what you're learning today if you'd like to do so. Because I'd love to hear your thoughts about what we're doing. And I'm going to answer all your questions that you're asking. So keep those questions flowing in. Okay. So what I'm hoping to do right now is I'm showing you, here's a strategy of emails. And I hope that you're getting the fact that even successful agents get an F off. It's what are you going to do about it? What are you going to make that mean to you? You guys got that? Are you going to let that hit you in the face and make you cry? Just like when I messed up on the technology, or I'm like, oh goodness, huh? I don't know. I don't see anything. Did my computer just crash? That would be unfortunate, right? I don't even make that mean anything. I just got to figure out, how do I get back on Zoom? I'm off for 30 seconds. All right. That's all that means, right? I get punched in the nose by an FU. Okay. Well, thank you. Next. If I would have made that mean something, I wouldn't have gotten hired by Tom. You guys see that? Because if I would have made, well, I probably would have in this case, but I wouldn't have, I may not have sent the email next week, because now I just felt bad and I say, that's not good. I don't want to feel like that again. Okay. So now I'm not going to send the email next. And then the next time that comes along, I'm not going to get hired by he or she. Does that make sense? You guys follow me on this? So it's your choice on what you mean that rejection, what you make that rejection mean. That's your choice. So that's a great transition into the content that I promised you today, which is, how do you change the results? How do you get different results in your life? I've got a friend of mine. My wife just went to visit her this past weekend. And once upon a time, she was seeking a healthy relationship with a man. And she wanted to be in a partnership. She wanted to be in a marriage. She wanted to have somebody that treated her special. She had a history of selecting the wrong guy. She had a history of selecting the guy that would go out and cheat on her, that would be verbally abusive to her, that would drink excessively, that would be irresponsible. And this friend, this is going back 20 years ago, right? Finally understood from her only divorce she's had, but the divorce that she's had with the same boyfriend over and over and over and over again. And so she goes through her divorce, and she finally sits down and she goes out to a retreat, and she recognizes her DNA in the result. Because before then, she didn't recognize that. Before then, she felt unlucky. She felt taken advantage of. Though she wouldn't admit it, she felt as a victim. Today, she understands her part of that relationship. She's in a very healthy relationship today. A loving, respectful, what she wanted originally. And she feels worthy. So once upon a time, she was caught in this cycle of unhealthy results, unhealthy results, unhealthy results. And it wasn't until she realized, what is the hack? What do I change to get better results? It wasn't until then that she got better results. The results that you're seeking, and I pray and I hope that everyone here is if you want a healthy relationship, I hope that that's what you have right now. If you don't want a healthy relationship and you want to be single, I hope that that's what you have right now. Right? If you are in a place that's not ideal, then I hope that you see maybe you can make a change about that, right? Like it's hard for me to talk on this because I want to accommodate you, and I don't want to discard anybody else that may be listening to me right now, okay? Because what's important is that we all want something. We all want to be loved. We all want to be valued. We all get something out of life, and we all have some sort of DNA in the matter. There's no bad and wrong. There's no judgment. Lisa says it sounds like the book, The Secret. Sort of. Not really. Because what The Secret says is visualize it, which is the sort of, right? It's about understanding why does that work, but it has to be more than the secret. It has to be more than I see checks falling into my mailbox. That's the way I would describe the book, The Secret. All right. But the secret's a part of it. And I'll show you that here in a second. So I'm going to ask for you to take out a piece of paper and a pen. And I'm going to ask, we're going to do this as a cycle. This is a cycle. It's a closed loop, just like my friend who had that same relationship over and over and over again. And in that cycle, you get a result. Okay, but we're going to worry about that result here in a second. We're going to show you how do you get that result, and then how do you change the result. So there's a thing called the self-coaching model that psychologists teaches, right? This is all scientific. This is all the way that our brain and the way our spirits work. So there's a thing called the self-coaching model. And in the self-coaching model, we have a circumstance. Something happens. Something happens. Somebody says, F off. You guys got that? Somebody says F off to you in a reply email. That's a circumstance. It's outside my control. Then I have a thought about it. My thought on that can be the thoughts that I shared with you earlier. Can be that I'm bad. I shouldn't be sending emails I shouldn't be emailing people. I shouldn't be doing that. I'm not worthy. This is fearful. It could be whatever negative thought that you may have. It could also be, the thought that I had, which was gratitude. So what was I grateful for? I was grateful to get that person out of my world and get them out of my database. Thank you very much. Send a message to Julene. Hey, Julene, get this guy out of my database. Julene's on here. All right, that doesn't work. Venus. Actually, Julene's on YouTube. So, Julene, tell us on YouTube. Was that right? Like, do you remember me sending that to you, Julene? What did I say? Hey, oh my goodness, this is bad. This is wrong. I just say, hey, get him out of the database. Like, I'm grateful for that. That's a thought that I had. Okay. So with the thought that I had led to the gratitude, which was the feeling. Okay. So the thought was, okay, I got to get him out of the database. The feeling was I felt grateful that I got him out of the database. And I felt a little bit amused, by the way, just so you know. Then I took action, and then I got a result. The action that I chose to take was, I'm going to continue doing that because I got an F off 2 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago. I got F offs, different F offs, right? But this has happened to me time and time again. Okay. But I also got different results of Tom Gillespie. I also got the results of how much do you charge? Right. So now I can focus. Do I focus on the F off or do I focus on the, hey, can I hire you? So this is what the loop that causes us to get the same results time and time and time again. That's what the loop is. So to be able to change this, to hack into this, what did my wife's friend do? It was, I'm going to change my programming and the circumstance. The circumstance sometimes can't, it is just what it is. If it rains outside, can I change that? No. Can I change what I think about it? Yes. So if you're looking for the actual hack, it's not to recreate circumstances, which is what The Secret teaches. The Secret teaches about, I'm going to just visualize this. I'm just going to make this happen. So the secret is, if you want to know what the secret actually is, they don't say that in that book. Who here, by the way, is familiar with the book, The Secret? All right. So most of you are. If you're not, then I apologize for giving you something without context. So excuse me. It's an inspirational book. Okay. So what it teaches is to change your programming. Now, it doesn't actually ever say that in the book. It just gives you examples. It's like me telling you, here's how to drive a car. But if you want to know how to take the parts of the car apart, the alternator and the spark plugs, and I don't know how to take a car apart, but I think I said words that belong into a car. This right here is actually taking apart what the secret teaches. It's to change your programming. So now how do you change your programming? The methodology to change your programming includes visualization, meditation, exercise, the relationships that you choose to be in, what you choose to read, what you choose to participate in, the podcasts that you listen to, such as the Consistent and Predictable Income for Real Estate Agents podcast. I couldn't pass it. Sorry, guys. I just couldn't pass it. The books that you read now, since I'm on the books that you read, the way that you change your programming is by changing those things there. Affirmations, write this down. Affirmations, meditation, exercise, books, people, exercise. Okay, these are the things that change your programming. Let me give you an example. If you watch CNN News, if you watch Fox News, your programming, if you do that nonstop, if you listen to Howard Stern, you're doing that nonstop. If Howard Stern even relevant anymore, I got to come up with a different shock jock. I don't know. I think I'm exposing my age. Brian, do you know who Howard Stern is? Brian, you meant? No. Oh my God. Get an Etch-a-Sketch, dude. Get an Etch-a-Sketch. All right. I got to come up with a different analogy there. Whatever it is, right? So if you listen to CNN News, you're hearing all this stuff. And you listen to Fox News, you're hearing all this stuff, right? One way or another, you're gonna develop some thoughts in those, and then you're gonna have these feelings like, man, that sucks. That's horrible, right? And then if you have these bad feelings, what do you think you're gonna end up doing? Take bad actions. If you take bad actions, what type of results do you think you're gonna take? Bad results. If you have bad results, that's gonna feed back into your programming. Okay, so there's very, very real life things that we do that we're not even aware of. Am I saying that Fox and CNN are bad? No, not at all. I'm just saying recognize it for what it is. Recognize it for they are a business and they understand that conflict creates viewers. That's a conscious decision those companies make. Not bad and wrong. It just is what it is. Okay? Understand that that's their business model. One has conflict in one direction, one has conflict in the other direction. It's both the same model. And is there value within there? Is it make it bad or wrong? I'm not making any judgment here. I'm just acknowledging. You guys okay with that? Yeah, you guys are all right with that? All right, cool. So if you want to change your circumstance in your life, it's through the programming. It's what are you inputting? Because when you input healthy things into your life, you have healthy thoughts. When you have healthy thoughts, you feel great. You feel healthy. What type of actions do you think you're going to take? Will you take empowered actions? Will you take freaking awesome actions? That's the type of actions that you're going to take. And when you do that, what type of results are you going to take that you're going to get? You're going to get the listing appointment with Tom Gillespie. That's what you're going to get. Or again, you could go off into the F off and make all that mean something else. That's your choice. Let me go ahead and read through some of these chats with you guys. All right. Another good book is The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. Absolutely. Hal Elrod goes to The Miracle Morning and he gives you, I think, about 8 or 10 of these things that I'm talking about and says, hey, do this every morning. For me, I've intended to do that. I feel lucky and fortunate if I can pull off about 3 of them each morning. Okay. And that's the result. I'm being authentic and honest with you. And I do about 3 of those every single morning. They're not always the same. Some days I'll meditate. Some days I'll visualize. Well, what I visualize is because my brain can't tell the difference between reality and visualization that's crystal clear, which is why I'm breaking ground on a major project at my house here that I've been visualizing to build my daughter an extraordinary paradise of a pool, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that I've been visualizing for years. And it's becoming a reality. Now, guess what? I had to have some action around there. I can't just visualize it into existence. That's where the secret book actually falls a little bit short, by the way. It doesn't tell you the next steps after that. You have to take action. All right. Sounds like my husband. I hope that's a compliment. I don't know what that's referring to, right? But we'll say that that's a compliment. All right. Listen to Dan's podcast. Focus on the good. This doesn't work. I hope that is, I know the context of that is, I'm taking that out of context right now. You're probably referring to something that I was saying and agreeing with me, I think. An older gentleman told me I was too stupid to read when I didn't see his no soliciting sign while door knocking. Yes, and you can make that mean something, or you can make that mean that you have no competition because the rest of your agents are going to not go knock on that door. I like no soliciting signs. Just saying. I'm not telling you to solicit, no solicit. I'm just saying I see the opportunity. All right. Do some people that react that way or to a lesser degree eventually come around? My friend, my wife's friend did. How many average email do you send to get positive reply from the FISBO? Make sure I get the context on that. And for every 7 people, I'm not sending the FISBOs an email. I am soliciting them through the text. I go through that in the content, the tactical thing. So if you that's TM. If you want to dive into that, feel free to hang on here in 2 minutes when we transition over into the CPI Coaching Mastermind. We can dive into that. All right. So looks like I got most of those comments from you guys. Having a bad hair day. Butch, you look beautiful. Where are you, Butch? I got to find Butch. Butch is having a bad hair day. Oh, there he is. He's blanked out. I don't recall, Butch, you having a mane of hair. But we'll go with it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, during the 5-day challenge, I'm going to give you 10 things that require 0 talent and 0 money that can then make a difference in your life. I'm going to give you 10 specific things. Takes no talent, no money. So now you can remove the limitations of, I don't believe in myself because these 10 things I'm going to talk about tomorrow take no money, take no talent. Leslie's going to put into the chat here an invitation to the CPI Coaching Mastermind. I just went in there. She's going to hang out here for a second, answer any questions to get anybody over there. I have to excuse myself to be there. So for those students that are already a part of that, I'm going to invite for you to switch over to the other Zoom link, which I'm going to do. For everybody else, and for those of you on YouTube, I'll invite for you to join us. And this is a mastermind group. We can certainly talk about what we talked about here or whatever's going on in your business. And I'm going to invite for you to come join us in the mastermind. Everybody else, I will see you tomorrow, precisely at noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific time. God bless you. Have the best day of your life. Make good choices and help somebody today. Talk to you soon.